Today's episode of the SOMM TV podcast is brought to you by Wine Paris. Wine Paris, happening February 9th to 11th at the Paris Expo Porte de Versailles, is the world's greatest and leading beverage event. The global beverage industry meets in Paris over wine, spirits, beer, cider, and full no and low alcohol wine categories, all under one roof. Over 6,000 exhibitors from 60 countries and more than 60,000 trade visitors from 155 markets gather together to discover producers, spot trends, meet suppliers, and expand business globally. If you work in the wine, spirits, or beverage trade in the United States, you need to be at Wine Paris 2026, February 9th to the 11th, right in the center of Paris at the Paris Expo Porte de Versailles. Register online now for free and secure your trade badge. There is no better way to connect with wine trade professionals around the world than Wine Paris. You can find a link in the show notes to grab your badge for free right now. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the SOMM TV podcast. I'm your host, Jason Wise. Before we begin, I have some really great news to share. SOMM TV just won 3 Taste Awards. Our feature film, Ghosts of Napa Valley, has won a special award, and also our branded content work with Method Oregon, where they are bringing together everybody who makes the greatest sparkling wine. So really just means a lot. I just want to say thank you to everybody and make that announcement. So thanks all for listening and watching our content. On today's episode, I am joined by my friend and your friend, SOMM 1-star Master Sommelier Ian Cauble. He is joining me today because we are going to take all of the wine regions in Europe and whittle them down to figure out which one is currently holding the championship belt. It has to equate to where you want to visit, the food that's there, what it's like to actually stay in the place there, you know, the hotels, all the things to do around it, all the wine. It's sort of everything about it, but then also, is it interesting to talk about? Is it good to drink the wines when you're home and not there? And this is going to be a controversial episode, trust me. What European region has the championship belt right now amongst all the rest of them? Before I do that, I do want to say you can watch this episode right now on SOMM TV. So if you're a SOMM TV subscriber, you can watch us and see the regions we're talking about and see all the things and see Ian's beautiful face, which is worth it on its own. Go to sommtv.com and subscribe. And of course, there's over 500 hours of the best content you can find anywhere in the food and wine world. Without further ado, Mr. Ian Cauble. What a treat. Welcome back to the SOMM TV podcast, Mr. Cauble. Ian Cauble, Master Sommelier, in the house today. How are you, sir?
I'm great. It's an honor to be here.
Well, for one, you and I talk a lot, but we don't often do it on mic. So this is going to be a great way to see if we can get ourselves into some trouble. Today, we are going to do the wine region championship belt. Who is holding the championship belt in all of Europe? We're going to go through a bunch of countries in Europe, figure out who is the absolute peak place to go eat, drink the wines from, whether you're going to visit or you're just going to drink it at home. This is the championship belt edition for Europe with, honestly, Ian, you're one of the only people I can talk to that does as much traveling as I can, who actually knows these places inside and out. So before we get into this ridiculous conversation, I want to ask you, how have you been, man? People haven't heard from you yet.
Man, I've been good. You know, doing a lot of traveling. Kids are growing up. Yeah, launched a new business. I forgot to say that. Yeah, launched a new business.
Well, let's get that out of the way. So you have launched the Cauble list.
Yes. So yeah,
Cauble
list,
like the list that Cauble puts together?
No, it's Cauble-ist, like the Atlantist. Okay. You know, like IST. So Cauble, IST, the Cauble-ist. Basically anything that has to do with my travels, my experiences, things I've found over the last, it's been 25 years in the world of wine. It's kind of crazy to think how fast life is going, but I get to spend a lot of time on the road and finding new cool things. And, you know, I'm sharing what I consider the best price to quality wines in the world with people. Most of them are about $30 to $80. And
it's just basically daily offers, right?
We do a daily offer about every day at 10 a.m. Pacific. We send an email with a photo of a bottle of wine, and I write about 500 words about it, why I love it, you know, the people, the place, the history, everything you put on film, you know, I put into words. And every day the wine changes. Most of the things are European because I think the best wines come from Europe, but there's great wines from Napa and Oregon and Washington, of course. And we have an online store with about 100 selections right now, which I'm building. So, yeah. Okay.
So let's get into this. We're going to start, basically what we're going to do is we're going to go country by country. We're going to pick who are the big, we're going to pretend that these wine regions are sort of prize fighters. And we're going to pick the big fighters. And we're going to do France first, then Spain, then Italy, then Germany. And is it safe to say, in your opinion, that I picked the biggest, most important countries in Europe? I'm not trying to leave anybody out. I know Portugal's important. I know.
Yeah. It's coming up.
Now's your chance to say, we should have a Greece, or we should have a Hungary, or we should have a Austria. But I think that those 4 countries are
I
probably
mean,
the
Austria
ones.
is worth talking about. But there's only really one area in Austria to go visit. But
Slovakia, right?
Right. Kremstal, Komtal, they're all right there.
Yeah,
it's all within a 15-minute drive from each village. But
I mean, are any one of those going to beat the Northern Rhone, the Southern Rhone, Champagne, Rioja?
I don't think so. I love the people in Austria. So, I'm a little bit jaded just because I have a lot of close friends there. Highly recommend anybody go to Austria. It's amazing. But in terms of the world-class destinations, I think you said 5 countries, right? Yeah.
We'll do Spain, Germany, France, Italy. I think that's 4. I'm trying to think of this. Oh, Germany, yeah. I think that's 4. I'm not sure that there's... Okay. Look, we are going to get some angry people saying, why didn't you include X, Y, or Z? And they're going to have a right to ask that question. I think Portugal is probably unfairly getting left out here, because you could argue that Porto or any of those kind of regions are absolutely ones to put on this list. But why don't we start? Let's do this. Why don't we start?
My first job was in Porto. I do love it there. But I think you've got the 4. You got the 4 semifinalists properly chosen.
Okay. So if those are the countries producing the great fighters, what are the regions that we are going to... Let's start with France. Off the top of your head, we obviously have a bunch of regions that have to go into here, and you and I are going to litigate what is the one right now in France that is holding the French championship belt of wine regions, producing the best wines, the most interesting stuff. We'll loop in some food. But it's also got to work at home. You got to be like, all right, if I'm going to have a wine from the Languedoc's the place to get it from right now, if that's what we're going to pick. So right off the bat, I want to put, if you don't mind, I want to put Champagne down on this list, okay?
Yep.
You'd agree, right?
100%.
Okay. All right. What else we got for France?
I mean, you got Burgundy for sure.
Burgundy.
Right? I would say Beaune in general, just the heart of...
Just Burgundy as a whole.
Burgundy as a whole. Yeah, Burgundy, and then Rhone, of course, you can call... Rhone, amazing times to be had there, of course.
And question for you on Rhone. We're talking north and south together as one place.
Yeah.
Because that's a hell of a large region.
That's a large region. I mean, for me, the Northern Rhone is where it's at, but the Southern Rhone's got some incredible stuff too. But if I'm going to pick one, it's the Northern Rhone, and you're going in and out of Lyon, which it's such an incredible town. Yeah.
It's... I have some very fond memories of filming there. It happens to be the 10-year anniversary of Into the Bottle, and of course we filmed the whole 1969 Jean-Louis Chauve bottle there and a number of other things. I love that place. What am I leaving off the list? We've got Champagne, Burgundy, Northern Rhone. Would you put Provence on this list?
It's worthy of a mention, but do I want to go spend a week in Provence tasting wines? No, I want to go to a week in Provence and get on a boat and drink rosé. But
yeah, that sounds good. I would like to do that.
But yeah, so we could, it depends how much cash you got, really. If you have money for a 100-foot boat, guess where we're going.
Documentary filmmaker, only a 75-foot boat, sadly. But
so maybe Provence isn't on there, but it's worth the mention. Okay. It's stunning, it's gorgeous. You've been, Monaco's incredible. I actually ran out of money when I was 23 years old in Monaco, and my ATM card stopped working, and there's Lamborghinis driving by me, and I was had €5, and I was trying to call a buddy of mine to lend me some cash. It's funny.
Yeah, been there, absolutely. Except I went there with no money, so that's kind of how it went for me. But all right, so what am I missing? Because out of the, if we're just going to do Northern Rhone,
Bordeaux's worth mentioning for sure. I mean Bordeaux's an incredible town.
Bordeaux's definitely worth mentioning.
Bordeaux's an incredible town. A lot of cool wine bars there. Coin du Vin is a killer wine bar that's got incredible selections all over from Burgundy and everywhere. So you can drink really well in Bordeaux. A lot of great people there. And, some of the great estates of the world are in Bordeaux. There's no question.
If you're going to take left bank, right bank, and then all the kind of stuff that goes around it, like Sauternes and, some Malbec down there. I mean, I wonder if we'll take the whole thing of Bordeaux. Let's take the whole spot.
You stay in Bordeaux and you do day trips. Yeah, that's kind of the experience, right?
Yeah, other than
and
that,
you're also an hour from San Sebastian, which is a total bonus, or maybe an hour and a half. So
we'll get to Spain in a moment. But so then if we have Bordeaux, Northern Rhone, Burgundy, Champagne, and we're saying those are the greatest prize fighters in all of France, which means, of course, we're leaving out some pretty hip regions. Well, Loire's pretty quiet. It's not,
it's nice for a relaxing time, but it's not as exciting as traveling some of the other places. Not as much energy, I would say.
Right. Okay. Okay. And, I'm trying to think of any of I think there are, Pascaline Pelletier would be very upset for us leaving Loire off the list. She's a big Shannon freak, but that's okay. She's not on this pod. This is up to you and I.
Yeah.
I think Burgundy is one of the greatest places on earth. Burgundy has some of the wines that have changed everybody's life when it comes to wine, but I don't know if this is the wine region I would take out of this list, to be honest with you.
It's my favorite place to be. I just love going and drinking the wines that I can't afford to drink here because, with the tariffs and the markups and who can afford to drink $250 Polini Premier Crus off the shelf? And they're now 400 plus in a restaurant, right? So if you're not in Burgundy, going to one of the places that gets allocations or maybe Paris, how do you catch up on the vintage and the great producers? Drinking Dujac and Loire, maybe Loire if you can't even afford it there. But, La Flave, all these wines are extremely expensive there. But if you go 5 or 6 buddies that are ready to spend a fraction of what you would have to spend to get those experiences here, it's an incredible time. And for me, that's why it's the greatest destination.
If you're going to go visit one of these places, or you're going to drink the wines from one of these places, and also you got to take into consideration kind of how they're performing this moment, at this time. Because I think this is all about who's holding the belt right now. Who's holding the belt at this moment?
For me, it's Burgundy. That's it.
For you, it's Burgundy. Okay.
Yeah, and it would... Listen, if you told me, do you want to go spend a week in Champagne? Maybe. I have some great contacts there.
No.
But do I want to go spend a week in Beaune? Because I can go to a lot of places. Beaujolais is a part of Burgundy, right? Chablis is a part of Burgundy.
Beaujolais does help this argument quite a bit.
How many producers can you see in Gevrey and Moret and Chambolle and Nuits Saint-Georges and all these satellite appellations? There's 100 good producers within an hour drive, right?
See, the only argument I'm going to give, now I happen to love the wines from the Northern Rhone more than anything, but I would say spending a week in the Northern Rhone is probably, I don't know that there's a lot to do. It's not, it's not like there's much to do other than visit producers, which is fine. But if you're my only argument against Burgundy here would be Bordeaux. Now, here's the thing with Bordeaux. You've got, the ocean is right there. You've got oysters. You've got a ton of great restaurants. You've got Saint-Emilion over there, this great medieval town. You've got all these little tiny Lalande de Pomerol and all these little places to explore and old churches.
Eat oysters at the coast, which is a half hour west. Yeah.
That's my only argument. If you're going to spend a week in Burgundy, at a certain point, you're going to have Oeuf Bourguignon and Boeuf Bourguignon and a lot of stewed stuff and a lot of mushrooms and a lot of things that
But this is some killer Japanese restaurants now. Come on,
right.
There's a lot of, there's a lot of cool, if you can get in, but there's a lot of pâtés and snails and cheeses. There's no question. But, the cool thing is you can do side trips to the Jura. The Jura is an hour to the east. You can be up in the mountains and do a day in the Alps.
The Jura doesn't count. Jura's over... The Jura right now is fighting in Morocco. They're working their way up welterweight. But it's right
cool.
Now they're working on their Pulsar.
Burgundy in general, it's okay, if you're going to be there, but you can do little side trips. That's my only point. It's an honorable mention if you'll take that.
Okay. All right. So would you take Burgundy? I think you get the deciding vote on this one. Would you take Burgundy or Bordeaux as the champion wine region?
Yeah, Burgundy. Where do I want to go and fly tomorrow and have someone else's bank account that has a lot of money in it? I'd go to Burgundy. Bordeaux's fun, but that's 2 or 3 on the list. But I do love Bordeaux, especially older Bordeaux. Mm-hmm. I'm not a huge fan of younger, modern Bordeaux, but yeah.
Okay, done. I want to move to Spain. I think Italy is a real complicated conversation. I don't think Germany and Spain are as complicated. And I think if we're going to talk Spain, let me just name a couple of regions here. I'm going to throw some out. Would you put Ribera del Duero on this list?
It's a quiet area. It's really not much happening.
I would not.
It's cool.
Personally.
All those huts, and the lamb is amazing, right? And there's some cool experiences.
Incredible. Yeah. I also really like white wine, and there's just not much there if there's any. It's not
a little Albio.
To me, here's the thing with Ribera. I feel like it's a very new thing built on a very old thing. All these great, beautiful old churches with these people trying to make these kind of modern-looking wineries around them, and for me, it kind of still feels that way. Whereas Rioja, I'm a huge fan of. And
sometimes I say the Ribera del Duero, the wines are a little dense and a little bit too much oak for my taste sometimes. I do love Vega Sicilia. I actually was blinded on a 1994 Unico last night at dinner. That was interesting. But
yeah, I think liking Vega Sicilia is not a hot take.
Yeah, totally. But my only point is like that's singular. Like, you know, do I really want to go and drink Ribera del Duero all day? No, but Rioja, yes. I mean, Rioja, I love Rioja, especially older Rioja.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I mean,
and, you know, going
also,
like the tapas crawl in Logroño. Have you done that?
Oh, my God.
Dude,
I mean,
mushrooms.
I don't know if I've done a crawl, but I've certainly eaten a lot of them. The crawl's a good idea.
It's at 10 o'clock in Logroño, and there's like 100 stalls that open up. Everybody's doing one thing. And there's this one guy like sauteing mushrooms, and he has this special sauce with butter and I think garlic powder. And I try to, every time I go, I try to like get the recipe, and he looks at me like, "You crazy, man, just get away." And but he puts these shrimp with this garlic butter on the mushroom and puts a little toothpick in it and gives it to you. And you're like, this is so damn good. Mercedes and I look forward to going every time. But I would say Logroño, the tapas crawl, and all of, you know, obviously there's incredible producers. And when Rioja gets, you know, 20 to 25 years of age, I think it's one of the greatest secrets of the wine world that most people don't know about Old Rioja. I'd say 95% of people have never tasted great Old Rioja, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I think Rioja is, I've mentioned it many times. I adore it. I love it so much. You can get all the versions of wine you like. You like bigger wines, you like oakier wines, you get that. You like really lean, austere kind of things that need to age, you can get that. You can also get light wines. I mean, I think Rioja is like one of my favorite places on earth to visit. The town's beautiful. There's a restaurant called El Terrete that has some of the best lamb I've ever had in my entire life.
Really?
Big fan. Okay.
El Terrete.
El Terrete.
Did you try the old 94 they have on the list for 38
€? You've
euro?
been there.
Oh my God, dude, it's mind-boggling.
Oh
dude,
my God, I'm so
honestly,
happy you know this place.
We have to go. We
filmed the whole animal.
We have to go. Animal. So I tried to buy like 1,000 bottles from them because they have a whole cellar in the back.
Their cellar
and I couldn't,
is insane.
Did you go back there?
No, yeah, we walked back there. And
did you try the 94 off the list by the chance? It's like literally $40.
Which, the white, was it a white?
No, the red, the Grand Reserve in 94. It's like...
What did we drink? We drank my producer John would probably have to jump in. He's on but I think we had a 97 white and then a bunch of reds. I'd have to look at the photos and video because we had the 94 Reserva. Yeah, there's John.
I mean, they made like 3,000 bottles. There's 1,200 left, but they sell... 2 bottles a day, 3 bottles a day. And they're like, yeah, we'll sell you 1,000 bottles. And I couldn't figure out how to get the label. And it was just too much heavy lifting. They were going to let you buy that much? I was trying to buy a pallet and they were like, sure. And I offered them a good price. And wow. Yeah. But I probably shouldn't have said that out loud. But yeah, if it's fine. But they were really cool people. I met the son and I was like, yeah, I think anybody would want to turn 500 or 1,000 bottles at 25 euros a bottle into cash. It's a lot of money out there, honestly.
Yeah, it's that place. What a magical place. All right, so Rioja's on our list. We're gonna take Ribera del Duero off. All right, so here's the thing with Spain. I want to at least mention Jerez and the sherry area. I don't think it's
amazing
gonna
place
land here, but
amazing place.
Damn, is it an
so
incredible
much
spot.
History.
The food.
I went there on a trip with Sopexa. I was 26 years old, so I'm 45
with
today.
Sopexa, so
I was
marketing
Sopexa.
agency.
So 20 years ago, I went.
They're now
at the wine
hopscotch.
merchant.
They're not. They don't even exist anymore.
I have no idea, but I was offered this trip. My boss, he's like, hey, do you want to go to the Rhone, Alsace, and Jerez de la Frontera, or Jerez de la Frontera, right? As I say it.
Jerez.
And I was like, yeah, absolutely, Jerez. And so we ended up going to Alsace and saying Alsace is totally worth talking about in a second. But
we'll get there.
And then we
didn't put Alsace on the French list.
It's definitely, dude. Yeah, what losers? But it's Germany, isn't it? I'm just kidding.
No, oh my God,
I'm just teasing.
You're
going
to get thrown off a cliff.
Did you totally
hold on?
kidding.
Back to that really fast on Alsace. Would you put that over Burgundy?
No, but it's so amazing.
It's so close. Yeah, actually, we did not talk about Alsace.
It's so
amazing.
amazing.
How did we not talk about Alsace?
I don't know. It's like, Spikens and Deutsch. You just mix. It was, it was only France for, 150 of the last 200 years.
It's gone. Yeah, it's gone back and forth.
But with that said, Alsace is, choucroute garni and a good glass of Riesling and a beer
absolutely.
in these
Those
villages.
Tarte flambés might be the greatest drunk food that's ever been created in the history of the world. Just like a little flatbread pizza with with speck, and I mean, it's just unbelievable.
It's like a
so
cracker.
good.
It's really not pizza. It's like a bar pizza. It's like it's almost like it's on a cracker. It's not really much texture, but it's delicious. And you
The
get
best drunk
local,
food of all time.
it's almost like Gruyere on the pizza, right? With like bacon, mostly. So yeah, if you're going to Europe and you're listening to this, Alsace is a bucket list experience. Colmar, stay in Colmar. You go to Kaiserberg, where Domaine Weinbach is, and go visit all those producers. But all right, and then back to Jerez, right? So I went to Jerez, and I remember like I didn't know much about sherry. I was this young kid, and they poured me the first Fino sherry, and they had like the Venenciador, you know, the guy who's like, he puts this little thing and he makes it so difficult. Did you try to do it?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I did. I think it worked-ish, but of course I looked like an idiot compared to the guys who actually know how to flip it around.
So you have these like really good-looking guys who are local Spanish guys, and they have this little cup, and it's on like a 3-foot-long thing, and they dip it, and it's very difficult. You have to have like, you know, very, very good balance, and you pour a perfect, 2-ounce glass of sherry. But they poured me a glass, and I smelled it, and I looked at my buddy. I was like, "Are we gonna have to drink this crap for the next 3 days here?" Because like I hadn't developed like a taste for sherry at that point. And when you have like a young palate, Fino sherry does not taste good, right? And so like at the end of the week, I was ordering it at the bar, right? But I fell in love with it.
Fino sherry is the kind of thing that if you go there, people come home with like a tattoo about sherry. If you go there and you taste this stuff, but you got to go there. If somebody just pours you, you're right. It's got an astringent quality that's a little off-putting.
Funky, right? It's like oxidized lees in a way. There's all that floor, which kind of smells like bread dough in a way, and it reminded me of something that was aged in a gym shoe, right, when I tasted it the first time, and I was like, how am I supposed to drink this? And it was after 4 hours, you have a paella with it, you have some chorizo, and all of a sudden I was like a total cheerleader for the region. But
I think those Spanish olives are the pairing between Fino sherry and these like salty Spanish olives that they serve.
So good.
Couldn't be more simple and couldn't be more incrable. I mean, there's just
the boquerones, like those little white anchovies.
Yep, those
with
are delicious.
The sherry. I mean,
really salty. Did you have the little tiny snails, the little guys? You pull them out with the toothpick. They come in like a glass.
I have. Yeah. Not too many. I had it once.
They eat absolutely anything that walks or crawls down there. they don't.
The food in southern Spain. I mean, it's obviously Morocco's right across the ocean. It's just the Moors' influence on the culture and the people and the ethnicity of the place. It's probably, I think, one of the most interesting places in the world to travel to. I don't think it's the finals. What are we calling this? The Grand Cru of the championship. It's not in the championship belt, but I think in terms of like history and culinary experience,
there's a lot to do there. That's the other thing too, like the exploration of it. You can go to these incredible. I mean, obviously you can go to Granada and all these places where you have these architectural marvels that are, 1,000 years of innovation, that you walk into a building where it's like, it's 110 degrees outside and it feels like it's 75 in there. And it's because of the way they built it. These are the Moors who had built all of this and had that place for 1,000 years. You think of Spain as like a Christian place.
Wasn't it 1,000 years? That's almost...
the South, near
that's
about 1,000 years. I mean,
that's
parts
amazing.
of the North, 600-700 until the Reconquista, where they kicked everybody out. In Spain, I want to throw just one more chance for Galicia. For anything else that can rival Rioja, would you put Galicia on the list that could have the championship belt right now?
It's not. I don't think it's close to the championship belt, but it is iconic. From Ribera Sacra to through the cliffs of Rias Baixas, Cambados, some of the best seafood in the world, and also the price to quality of living out there. Like, you go there and you eat seafood all day long. That would cost you $200 a person in San Francisco, and it's like €25. There's a producer named Albamar. This guy Shursho, his mom was cooking us incredible stuff, but we went to the seafood market. That's a wholesale market in Cambados. This was like 10 years ago, and he got, €50 worth of seafood, came back with literally like filled up the back seat with shellfish and like razor clams. And literally you just need olive oil and garlic and a little bit of lemon and a pile of Albarino. And you're literally, it's a SOMM's dream, like for real.
Yeah,
so
and how is this place not the championship belt? I mean, every time I've gone there, I have been convinced it's the best seafood in the world when I leave.
What? Like, listen, you're talking me into it. I think, but between that And, I know it's not okay to say, but you're only an hour from Porto. So like this is the northwest of Spain creeping into the north of Portugal. This whole area of the world is really an untouched treasure. Galicia, even from Gijón, like southwest of San Sebastian, which is Asturias, which is kind of, you can include it because Asturias doesn't have its own wine. If I faked my own death, I would be there in Gijón, Gijon. It's like Huntington Beach of Spain, really good waves and super cheap to live. And then you go west to, Santiago de Compostela, you have Cambados and the Rías Baixas, and then you have Ribar Sacra and Bierzo.
And you're pretty close to where the Godeo and all that stuff and Mencia. I mean, you've got...
so the northwest of Spain, for me, is really one of the untouched treasures of the world. And if I was going to go anywhere tomorrow to like relax and really just like chill, that was actually where I would go. It would be Burgundy. So you actually bring up a good point.
Well,
because I want to be there and spend my life there. So that's different, because I just love the people. And if you don't speak Spanish, it's very difficult. Thankfully, I think I studied Spanish in college. So when I go there, my wife is so bored because like nobody can talk to her. But I'm like, I'm loving it because I get to practice speaking about wine in Spanish, which is I don't always get to do. But yeah, Northwest Spain is for me like the best part of Spain.
All right, anything else besides Galicia and Rioja that truly is at this level? Because we got to pick one from Spain, and we still have two countries to get through.
I think we both just picked Galicia. I think.
Wow.
I think
I would take Galicia. Galicia was my pick, though. I love Rioja.
Dude, I want to go there with you, dude. And I'm going to bring you around to some of these places. We'll have some fun.
Galicia right now holding the championship belt in Spain. I bet that's going to get some people going, wait, what about, blah, blah, blah,
But we do
blah.
love Rioja. We just got done glowing about it. So it's just so happy. It's just the vibe of Galicia is such like, it's untouched. It's like you're out in Middle Earth, like up in the hills. And
it really has a Middle Earth vibe. It's very green. It's very unlike the rest of Spain. It's an incredible spot. Okay. All right, let's move on.
And by the way, the meat in northwestern Spain, there's something called Rubia Gallega, some of the best beef in the world. I would like to say that.
Absolutely.
And there's a place I would like to say outside there. It's called El Capricho, which is one of the greatest places to eat meat in the world. And so if you're in northwest Spain, look up El Capricho.
El Capricho.
Okay. Yeah, next subject.
All right, Germany. I think Germany we can do pretty easily. We're really between 2 or 3 regions here.
So you're talking, Rheingau, Mosel, Pfalz.
That's it. Look, not to be a jerk, but those are the 3 I would take as far as like who could be the greatest, most important wine region in all of Germany.
What about like Sachsen in the north, like close to Dresden? I'm just teasing.
It's fine.
I'm just.
They're all pretty interesting, but I think for my money, it's Mosel or Rheingau. I love the Pfalz. There's some incredible spots there. I just happen to really like these kind of racy, acidic wines that you find.
Yeah, there's no question. I think it's definitely down to those 2. I think the Pfalz is amazing. I think some of my favorite wines to drink are from the Pfalz. Limestone, Chardonnay on limestone, Pinot Noir on limestone, Riesling on limestone.
Oh, yes.
All dry, just amazing. If I was going to drink one region from Germany for the rest of my life, I think I would potentially choose the Pfalz just because I love the dry Rieslings from there.
Okay.
But the Mosel, of course, a very different style. I love old Mosel Rieslings, and to not have old Mosel Riesling for the rest of my life, that would probably kick out the Pfalz, but the Pfalz would be very close. But the Mosel's the most dramatic. It's the most powerful.
You have to see it to believe it. It's incredible.
It's, but it's forever. You drive on these hills for what seems like hours, and it's just these terraced, broken up chalkboards, billions of, chalkboards broken up into these, slate, different colors of slate from Koblenz all the way down to where Bernkastel and further south. But, there's some incredible experiences to be had. But the Rheingau is awesome. I think for the actual dramatic beauty of it, the Mosel is like, it's it. But the Rheingau's got some amazing restaurants. They have some great Pinot Noir as well. There's a restaurant called Zumkrug, Zumkrug. If you're in Frankfurt on a layover, try to do 24-hour
you go into Frankfurt,
layover.
It's like, it's 40 minutes away. It's right
exactly,
there.
And you could do 24 hours in the Rheingau. Actually, I just found this out, but my last name Cauble is from a town named Kaub right there, K-A-U-B.
Really?
That's just around the corner from Rudesheim. Just up that corner.
Yep.
And so,
and it's dramatic there too. The cliffs are pretty amazing. They're just not like the Mosel. So, out of Rheingau or Mosel, which one do you take?
I'd Rheingau would probably be my pick. And, Mainz.
Wineries are bigger too. The estates are bigger. Like there's just bigger places. There's more to see. I would go Rheingau for
and
food.
The thing
especially.
is, but the cool part is, you're in Mainz, and you're literally 35 to 40 minutes from 50% of the great producers in Germany. So you can go to Wagner Stempel. That's just south of there. That's technically Rheinhessen. You can go to Keller. That's technically Rheinhessen. That's 45 minutes. You can be an hour. You can be in the Pfalz, and you can be at Rebholz. You can be in the Mosel's an hour and a half, right? But you can be in Assmannshausen in 35 minutes, which is the greatest Pinot Noir vineyards in Germany. Rudesheim is right there. So,
all right. So Rheingau it is. I agree with you.
Right, but because it's such a great central location too. It's not just the wine of the Rheingau, but Mainz in general is the place you want to be, because you can be everywhere. The next day, you can be in 5 different regions tasting and not feel like you went out of the way. Kind of like being in San Francisco, and you could go an hour north to Napa, 2 hours north almost, or a little bit more to Mendocino, an hour south to Santa Cruz. Mainz is a great town. And last time I was there, I drank a lot of beer, and I was walking around the town by myself, and I stumbled into this crazy old bar during some sort of World Cup final game. I forgot what it was. It was like a UEFA Cup, and it was the craziest experience of my life. It was like Mainz was playing some other great team in Germany. It was like the top, and I was like, what's going on? They're like, this is
That's great.
Like the most intense rivalry of the history of Germany. And I was in this bar for 2 hours. It was the coolest experience. Yeah.
I was in Alsace one time during the World Cup, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Everyone's drinking Kronenbergs and throwing beer all over the place, and it was awesome.
Kronenberg tastes so good, and when you're there,
a wonderful beer. And then you're right. When it's not there, it's beer, but when it's there, it's so delicious. It's incredible. All right, Rheingau. All right, how do we approach Italy without fighting? How do we do this, and how do we not make it so complicated?
We could just end the podcast. We're cool.
Yeah, we could just be done. All right, for Italy here, all right, we got to put Chianti, or what I would call just all of Tuscany, because if you put Tuscany on this list,
Panzano, and what were you Florence? Is that where you are, or are you just saying?
I think Tuscany
Panzano.
is Florence all the way to Siena and San Gimignano, and you got whites, you got reds, you got, I guess you got Bulgari in there. Look, I find it
stunning. It's stunning.
If we're going to put this on the list, I don't know how any other wine region, pound for pound, food for food, diversity of stuff you're going to drink, places you're going to go, tourism you're going to see, Florence is right in the middle of it. The wealth of meat, if you're a meat eater in Tuscany, it is, holy crap, is it incredible. Oh my God.
I do adore the wines in general.
I do too.
Especially, the classic Chiantis, not the lean leafy stuff, but the stuff that's coming from around Panzano and Rada,
Sure. There's so much diversity. You so much diversity. It's just incredible the stuff you can get. If we're going to take all of Tuscany, this is how we either make this easy or hard, because obviously up where Barolo is and, Barbaresco, and that is a magical place, and I've spent a lot of time, but it's also a quieter place, and every one of those little villages is great. But it reminds me a little bit of Champagne and some of the lesser qualities of Burgundy, where it's tough to find dinner sometimes because things are quiet. I love that place. There's some of the best food I've ever had in my life up in Alba, in that area.
But Alba for me is amazing. I would throw Valtellina. I don't know if you've been up there to Sondrio.
Yep.
I was just up there.
That's all part of, I would consider that all sort of part of the same area. Even though
Piedmont.
It's
so you're
different.
saying Piedmont. And then you're up
Piedmont
in
as a whole
Lombardy. For me, Piedmont's it. No.
You take Piedmont. The problem is, as soon as you add everything that encompasses Piedmont, now we're having a different conversation, because then you've got Asti, and you've got, so high up into the mountains and all that really racy Nebbiolo that's incredible.
The Alto Piemonte, Game Gattinara. There's some amazing, all the stuffed pastas up there too. The Annelotti del Plin, the Tyrrhene, the pizzas are all $9, and it's the best pizza. I don't really love the
Tuscany, Piedmont. Piedmont is so good, man. You're right. It is.
I just love Nebbiolo too. I don't even know. I think I might like Nebbiolo more than Pinot Noir these days. Don't tell anybody.
That's okay. There's a lot of great white wine up there. I really like the whites up there a lot. All right. So then just for shits and giggles, I mean, are we going to put any German speaking Northern Italian regions on here? Would you go?
I mean, Alto Adige is amazing.
Beautiful.
Trentino. I was just in Lake Garda. Stunning.
Stunning.
The history
it's
up
like,
there. I mean,
doesn't
that
even
area
look
used
real.
to. I mean, it used to be Austria until the World War I, wasn't it? Until
World War II.
1930.
Between
World War II, it changed. So
Mussolini,
Austrian,
yeah.
Hungarian. So if you go to this area, I would just say
It
Alto
was
Adige. It
South
looks like
Tyrol.
Austria.
South
Yeah.
Tyrol. Yeah.
Yeah. So Südtirol, this area, they still speak German. You go to Bolzano, and to the north, people speak German. They're eating, canoodle, and they're eating all these Austrian foods. And I used to live north of there in St. Anton, the small ski village, about an hour north of there. But the whole culture is
As
amazing.
one does, of course.
But that's why I went broke in Monaco, is because I spent all my money there. Yeah. Long story. That's another podcast. It's like a 15-month trip of, becoming broke and trying to find jobs. But I would say that Alto Adige is an honorable mention for top 10 regions to go in the world, for sure. And some of the food is absolutely incredible. Producers like Foradori, for example. I mean, some of the greatest hot springs in the world are up there. And it's just stunning. I mean, the Dolomites, merging with the Alps.
Yeah, it has to be seen to be believed how beautiful it is. That being
said,
the
photos never do it justice. Like I've seen photos, and when I went there, it's like Sound of Music meets Italy. It's like you can't even imagine the beauty. And the wines I think are good. I don't think they're like truly as great as like
you're not
for
a big
the pleasure.
Schiava fan, or?
I do like Schiava. We actually did
I
an
do
offer
like
last
Schiava
week.
a lot.
We did
I
an
like
offer
Schiava
last
quite a
week that was from Cobelli, which was epic, really light, savory, floral, $29. Like, and a lot of people bought it, thankfully, because
Schiava is wonderful, and it's a great chilled red too. People who like that kind of lighter wine. Schiava is wonderful for that kind of thing. It's good.
Yeah,
good
and
food wine.
I like it. I like it more than Tiroldigo. Personally, I like Schiava
I'm
mostly,
with you,
and of course the whites. There's good Kerner and Riesling, and the Pinot Grigio is probably the best in Italy. If you
for sure. I think I mean it's between that and the Veneto, and I would definitely take it in Alto Adige for sure.
Yeah, but
which reminds me, the Veneto probably not on this list, though. Venice is a pretty great place. Would you put?
What, you don't want to
Sicily
drink
on this?
Amarone all day? You don't want to drink Amarone all day?
I do not want to drink Amarone all day. No, I'll have a glass of Amarone at night, and just a glass, but I don't want to drink it all day.
Yeah, like 2 ounces.
Yeah, a shot of it. Would you put Sicily? Does Sicily hold a candle to Piedmont?
Sicily's amazing.
Sicily's a miracle, but would you?
But for me, it's like Etna, and specifically, that's it. I haven't spent much time in the west of, I haven't spent much more time in more of the Marsala mafioso area. Sorry, I shouldn't even say that. But at the west, I haven't been out there. But I would say
You're
Sicily
telling
in
me
general.
Sicily has the mob?
No way.
Not at all.
They're like, what do you mean you don't like the Marsala? I'm like, no, I love it.
Like I like it with chicken.
How much do you want to buy? I'll take 1,000 cases. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Marsala is good, by the way. Very maligned.
I do love it.
Wine.
I truly love it. So listen, I would say that Messina, that whole area just across from Calabria, Mount Etna, Randazzo, like all these cool
What are we doing?
restaurants.
It's between Piedmont and Tuscany. That's
but I would.
Right?
Yes, but you bring up Sicily, I would say there's islands out there, the Aeolian Islands. There's Malfa, Salina's the island. Like there's some experiences that if we're going to talk about the great wine areas of the world, it's definitely honorable mention on the list. But yes, I think it's Piedmont for me. But I do think if you fought me and said you wanted to say Tuscany, but what do I want to drink?
Here's the thing.
I want to drink Nebbiolo, and that's the thing. It's like if you want to drink Nebbiolo for the rest of your life or Sangiovese for the rest of your life. For me, it's Nebbiolo. But
I have to agree with you. I think I would take Piedmont, especially considering we're going to take Greater Piedmont. I would do that for sure. All right, so let's take Greater Piedmont. Piedmont is, I think, all right. So now, I'm sure a lot of people listening are furious. We have nothing in Greece and nothing, but we're just going to do this first. And now we've got to decide between Piedmont, Burgundy, Galicia, and the Rheingau. One of these regions is the championship belt holder in all of Europe. And we may have missed talking about a lot of other countries and regions, but I will say, I do think 2 to 3 of these on this list are probably, those are the ones that should be here. And whoever wins is arguably going to be the one that should. So we're going to get there no matter what.
So do we get like an all expense paid trips by the wines blank area after we go?
Of course. Yeah. This is where you get to go, and you've got a summer house and
all right.
that.
Well, let's make
right
one
now,
agreement. Whatever we pick, me and you have to go there, and we're gonna hang out. We're gonna party and go visit some people.
Sounds terrible. I'm in. Let's do it.
And if you don't, I'll never come back on the podcast. Just kidding.
We'll see about that. All right. So, but no, let's go. Piedmont, Burgundy, Galicia, or the Rheingau. Are we scratching the Rheingau right off the top?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think the Rheingau, with all love, respect, and everything else to it, I just feel like, and I also feel like, man, do I want Galicia to win this? But I just don't think it can. I'm sorry. Which means Spain does not have a region that can compete with Piedmont or Burgundy right now. I'm not saying ever. I'm not saying like in the history of the world or the future. I'm saying we're talking about right now who's holding the championship belt. That's what I'm talking about this moment. So can Galicia fight against Burgundy or Piedmont? No. Okay. I agree with you. Though, man, do I love that place. So now you got Burgundy and Piedmont, both weighing in at about 204 pounds. And undefeated, these two. You put them in the ring, 12 rounds. Which is the one holding the championship belt at the end? And which one's going to go fight Logan Paul on Netflix? Just kidding. Oh, Jesus, I wish I hadn't said that.
Not Jake Paul. Jake Paul. He lost all of his teeth. I don't know what he was thinking jumping the ring
broke
with
his
that guy.
jaw. Did I say Logan Paul? I meant Jake Paul.
What was he thinking jumping in the ring with him, though? Did you watch that?
I did not. Honestly, I did not. The one before I watched it, I don't even know why.
No, it was like Glass Jaw. You ever played Mike Tyson's Punch Out? It was like Glass Jaw against Mike Tyson, thinking Glass Jaw Joe, what was his name in the first round?
Yeah, Glass Jaw Joe.
It was literally, that's what I think. But whatever. So this is a tough fight, though. I'll be honest. I think that for me, where would I want to go tomorrow? I prefer to go to Alba.
Piedmont.
I just
I'm
love
taking
Alba,
Piedmont.
man.
You're taking Piedmont too?
I've been Piedmont, dude. I love Barolo.
Piedmont.
I want to drink Bartolo Mascarello. I want to eat Agnolotti del Plin, and then I want to go drive up into the snow, or in the cold areas, these high villages like Lasona and Bramatera. You go to Boca. There's used to be more vineyards than Barolo. Conti is up there. You got these really cool producers that are like ethereal. They taste like Burgundy. And then you can even drive east and quickly be in Sondrio and Valtellina, where they have Chiavenasca, which is a synonym for Nebbiolo, which, last time we were there, they had early rains. And so the Chanterelles and the Porcinis popped in August. And we had all these crazy Brassola pizzas with porcini and chanterelles, and you order like 2 pastas and 2 pizzas, and you order a bottle of wine, a couple of beers, some sparkling water, and it's like €85. And you're like, the kids are happy. They all got, it's literally the price to quality of life there. I'd say that's a big part of it too. You can go and, you don't have to have a huge budget. You can go
definitely take my kids to Piedmont before I would take them to Burgundy
But for $300 a day, you could go there, get an Airbnb, and technically afford breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and get by feeling pretty good about life. $500, you're living like a king. $1,000, you're drinking really good Barolos.
Whatever you want. I agree with you, Piedmont. So can we end this conversation with the confidence that at the end of the day, in European wine regions, Piedmont is holding the championship belt? I feel good about this. I think I feel good about that.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I feel good. Well, I think if we called it Jerez de la Frontera, people would give a shit. Be like, oh.
Well, I look forward to doing the U.S. with you at some point here, because then we'll basically we'll really duke it out about your White Claw, Bear Claw flavored Temecula wine. But right now we don't have to do that. So I always love talking to you, man. I'm a big fan. 10-year anniversary of Into the Bottle, which of course you can watch on SOMM TV. And of course your new company, The Caubleist. Tell people where to sign up really fast.
Yeah, you can go to thecaublist.com, CAUBLEIST, and there's a quick sign up button. We've got a great store, and we're launching a club in March. You'll be able to see that.
Well, please tell everybody I said hi, and it's a pleasure, man. Thanks for being on, buddy. I want to thank everybody for joining. It really means a lot. Remember, if you love this podcast, please, as I always say, give us a great rating, give us a great review wherever you listen to the podcast. It really means a lot. I want to thank Ian Cauble for joining. Go check out his new venture, The Caubleist. He's offering great wines pretty much every day, I think. I want to thank my producer, John Adams, and I want to thank you for listening. We will see you next week. Today's episode of the SOMM TV podcast is brought to you by Wine Paris. Wine Paris, happening February 9th to 11th at the Paris Expo Porte de Versailles, is the world's greatest and leading beverage event. The global beverage industry meets in Paris over wine, spirits, beer, cider, and full no and low alcohol wine categories, all under one roof. Over 6,000 exhibitors from 60 countries and more than 60,000 trade visitors from 155 markets gather together to discover producers, spot trends, meet suppliers, and expand business globally. If you work in the wine, spirits, or beverage trade in the United States, you need to be at Wine Paris 2026, February 9th to the 11th, right in the center of Paris at the Paris Expo Porte de Versailles. Register online now for free and secure your trade badge. There is no better way to connect with wine trade professionals around the world than Wine Paris. You can find a link in the show notes to grab your badge for free right now.